them know when you want them to start bowling.
Okay. Bowling fans, welcome to the U12 Mixed Division Finals here at the 2023 Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. My name is Justin Bohn, and today we've got Joseph Adoram bowling Odin Peters, two Howell Lanes competitors here today. Exciting to see two locals bowling for the title here in the U12 Mixed Division, bringing it back. First time in a couple years we've had a U12 division as Joseph gets things started off. Going to touch high there, leaving the 6-7-10 to start.
Hey, Justin, you're on camera too.
Hi, Phil.
Good morning, everybody. $2 Phil here helping run pretty much behind the scenes today. Good to have Justin on the call. It's always a good man to have on the call. Knows so much about the sport, much more than I'll ever know. So we'll let him give you all the ins and outs of what's going on the lanes as these players battle for a U12 championship.
Yeah, it's good to be with you, Phil. Once again, we've been in the booth a couple of times here over the past couple years, but glad to be back as always. Prize fund, these two are bowling for $400 first place scholarship. Second place will receive $200. We had 7 total entries in the U12 mixed division. Top 2 advancing to the TV finals here today.
You know, it's always funny when the parents, they don't want to be on camera, and all of a sudden they move sides, and they don't realize there's another camera that we can get the parents nervously watching on. We got both the parents, both the dads, for both players sitting there on their stage left.
Yes. Both of them sitting right next to each other, too. Interesting strategy there. So we got Odin here going for the spare. Great spare, textbook spare for Odin.
You know, one thing that's always great about these U12 players, it's such the early camaraderie they have, and they're not that focused about having to get the 8-baggers like you guys seem to do once you get older. They know how huge filling frames is.
Oh, absolutely.
Just getting spares all the time. It's good for their game plan.
Good strike there for Odin. Odin off to a pretty hot start here. Spare strike to start here in this 2-game total wood match. So this will be essentially a 2 out of 3 total wood, or 2 out of 3 2-game total wood match. So they will bowl 1 2-game total wood match. They will bowl a second 2-game total wood match. If each player wins 1 match apiece, they will bowl 1 more 2-game total wood match to determine the winner here. So we could potentially see 6 games here today from these competitors. Minimum of 4 guaranteed. Joe goes a little light there for the 8-pin. So after this first 2-game total wood match, they will move to pairs 1 and 2, or pair 1 and 2, to bowl the second match.
And that's the only division that's doing that, correct? Oh, no, they're all doing that this week if
Yes.
it has to go to the second game. And that's nice. Doesn't let somebody get an advantage on how one particular pair may have broken down early.
Oh, exactly. It's a huge advantage as a competitor for sure. They'll go to a fresh pair again. So if the first pair was broken down funky for one competitor, they got another chance to set them up for themselves going into the second match. As Joe just misses the 8-pin there.
And while it's so quiet right now in here because it's a championship match, you get on the other side of the wall here outside of River Rates. It's not quite mayhem. But it's definitely different atmosphere because there's 4 divisions going through bracket match play right now.
Yeah, we've got all the other streams for all of the other divisions on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship YouTube channel. You can find all the lanes here at Howell Lanes on the other side of the wall. But right now on the Justin Bohn channel, we've got the U12 Mixed Division Finals here in Bohn's Elite Training and Rev Rates VIP Entertainment.
It's kind of fitting that the championship battles are all taking place on a champion's YouTube page. I mean, it's not like your dad isn't a champion, let's be honest, but, the younger champion.
Yes. Is Joe up for the spare here, looking for his first mark of the match. And just misses the 5-pin there. Joe currently sitting with a score update. Joe 25 in the third. Odin with 3 spare strike after 2 frames. So Odin with a early lead here. Odin had a skateboard accident over the weekend. He was actually in the hospital over the weekend. As you can see, he's got a wrap on his right arm there. Good thing he's left-handed. And sick shot there from Odin. You see some motion there for a big double.
Slaps it out. I like it. 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and here we go, baby.
We love it.
It's Championship Sunday. The way it should be. So what's the pattern these young players are hitting right now?
So we have a 44-foot pattern out there today. I believe the ratio is about 3 or 4 to 1 for those of you ratio people out there. So pretty hard pattern, especially for these U12 bowlers for sure. Scores were not super high out there across the 5 squads and all 5 divisions. I believe the high qualifying score was 160 over.
Yep.
Jacob Boxty took that in the U18 boys division.
And he had about half of that in his first game.
Yeah. Yes. These two qualified. Joseph bowled 817 for his 5 games, averaged 163. And Odin bowled 719, averaged 143 for their 5 games of qualifying.
We get a good look at the stance. Look at that nice. These kids learn so early now. The nice relaxed shoulder in the setup, and just let that ball swing from the shoulder. Don't keep it up in the air like we were told to do when we were younger, or at least when I was younger.
I have had the chance to work with Joseph a little bit in the past. He's a young kid out there, just loves to bowl, loves to get out there. His dad loves to bowl as well. Good to see people like that just absolutely love bowling. So Joseph is here all the time working on his game and practicing and having a good time, which is always good to see.
Yeah, I mean, this training facility, VIP facility, whatever you need, it's flexible. If you need to come out here and train a lot and get better and use Specto or use the torch system or any of the tools you guys have here to get better, you can do that. And I was here Thursday night, and it was full of a party. People had just grabbed house balls and were just having a fun old time. It's neat to see how varied the use can be here inside of Rev Rates. And it really keeps everybody's interest in the sport. You know, we're kind of the 1%ers with wanting to be the, upper echelon of the game and, be the best all the time we're out there. And, hey, you guys can handle that, and you guys can handle the people that are just having some food, some shots, and a good time with their friends.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about this space is that it's so multi-purpose. You can have we had a 3-day clinic here this past week that was, 8 or 9 hours a day. And then at night you could have a party for up to 75 people. Joseph on the board there with his first spare. But yeah, it's great to see the versatility of the space, between lessons going on, open bowling, big parties, clinics, all that good stuff. There's a ton of variety of what can go on in this space. So Odin gets up after the split conversion in the 4th, leaves the 4-7.
The coolest part about this, watching these two young men at first, Adoram's not getting that rattled early. He knows he's down early, but he also knows because of the format today, this could almost be kind of like a little extra warm-up for him because he knows if he loses his first 2-game match, he's got time to come back.
He's got plenty of time. Yeah, absolutely. So they're bowling 2 games total wood here in this first match on 3 and 4. So we'll take the first game that they bowl and the second game they bowl, add them together, and that will determine the winner in round 1. Then we will bowl a second round on 3 and 4. If the same bowler wins both matches, that will be the champion. If they split 1-1, we will go into a round 3, the if necessary round, and the winner of that match will be the U12 mixed division champion.
Good to see the young players out here giving it their all.
Absolutely.
We just look at them post that form.
Yeah, Odin's a Howell Lanes competitor. Odin clean through 6 frames. That's pretty good.
That's huge for a U12 player.
That's
on a
sweet.
tough condition.
Absolutely. That's pretty sweet.
Apparently, pain not a factor
for
Odin Peters this morning.
No, not at all. it's pretty good to see Odin here all the time working on his game as well. We talked about Joseph a little bit earlier, but Odin bowls right here at Howell Lanes. Him and his dad bowl league on Sunday mornings together, and Odin's a part of our Friday night league and our Friday night program. So, to see all of them, to see both these two that bowl here at Howell Lanes competing in the finals today is pretty cool, especially in, this TV finals where we got some spectators here. One of them's going to take home the big check, the bowling ball. So it's pretty exciting to see the two of them here today.
$400 for a U12 player in scholarship money. You invest that right, by the time they get to school in 6 more years, that could be double if not triple that, even with some simple interest.
Good spare there for Joseph.
One thing sometimes the parents forget about in mind, they go, the prize isn't huge today right now. Yeah, you invested right. It's going to be a little bit bigger by the time these 12-year-old players or 11-year-old players get their first year in school.
Yep, all the players today earning SMART scholarship money, so it'll go into their SMART funds. Joseph working on 2 spares here. First strike on the board in the match.
There we go.
It's really cool to see, these two both bowl here at Howell Lanes, and they're both rooting for each other. The two dads know each other. They're sitting right next to each other, rooting both of them on. They just want to see, both of these two, Joe and Odin, go out and have a good time, and may the person that knocks the most pins down go home with the title. So they're totally both enjoying it. You can see when either one of them throw a good shot, both parents are cheering. So it's a cool sight to see.
Yeah. What is second place getting out of this for scholarship funds today?
So
still going to be a good chunk of change.
Yeah, first will win $400, and second will win $200.
Oh, first open.
Odin's still in the driver's seat, though, after, his really hot start. Got a double, was clean through 6 frames.
The nice part about this, too, is that kids that are old enough, you have to know what a chop is.
Or a bad break.
They might know a bad break, but, no bad break there.
Odin totally getting into it. Odin with 130 in the 7th. Joe with 71 in the 6th with a strike in the 7th. Odin currently up 39.
Just the composure. You think these kids would be nervous. They know a lot of people are watching out there on YouTube and family with them here, and they're just composed. There's no extra sweat on the brow of these young players.
No, not at all.
You remember your first big tournament win, something like this, a big invitational tournament, but a big, year-end tournament or once-a-year event?
Man, first one?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know about first one.
Okay.
I remember go a couple years back to the Danny Wiseman Scholarship Tournament, another professional bowler who ran a junior tournament for a number of years. I was fortunate enough to bowl for the title in that tournament. 32 guys, double elimination, same format here, 2-game total wood. Made the top 4 for the stepladder, ran the stepladder, and lost to good buddy Bryce Oliver in the title match. That was probably 2019 now.
Okay.
And had a good run there from the losers bracket, and man, it's fun to be in these environments and create things that are similar to what they watch on TV, on the professional tour, and all that stuff. So being in a setting like this definitely separates you from the rest, and it's cool that these two players get to experience that at such a young age here today.
Yeah. I remember seeing some kids the first time when I had the TV shows back in Wisconsin. It'd be the first time on TV. And you see their cheeks would be so flushed with nerves. They'd be bright, bright red. And, these two guys right here seem to be relatively calm knowing what's going on and knowing what's on the line, regardless if it was live streamed or not. It's a prestigious title you want to win as a youth with this PB3.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think what helps, too, with both their dads sitting right there, but on top of it, they both bowl here, and they're both friends. So I would think that that's got a little bit of helpfulness in their nerves here today. But Odin in full control here at the end of game 1. Joe with 117 in the 9th. Odin looking at a potential 190 or 200 game here.
I should have some fun with the dads right now and just yell, "Hey, dads, wave at the camera." You're on camera. We'll play nice. I'm sure they've probably had friends and family blowing up their phones already as this match is going on.
Oh, another great spare there. So far, 8 out of 9 clean frames, Phil.
That's awesome. I mean, these kids learn so much younger now how important filling frames is a necessity because they know they're not going to throw the 4, 5, 6 baggers to keep themselves in a match or get themselves back in a match. They know if they keep filling frames, that's their advantage in these U12 matches.
Exactly, exactly.
And like you see right here, Peters comes back. He's calm. He's just waiting for his ball to come back. He knows he's got the 1-2-4. He'll make the adjustment. Tough part for this, being the lefty, is not leaving the 4-pin. You come up a little high on it, and that 2 will just go out of the way. Perfect conversion, though. Well done. And these young players are impressing me this morning once again. So let's see. They each got a couple balls on the rack, but Peters, I thought maybe just in case, maybe try something else on the fill ball. But he's going to rode what he brung.
You know, he's just going to keep doing what he's doing. He's off to a really great start here in the first round. Odin Peters, 185.
That is phenomenal.
What a sweet start.
I don't think it's real necessary right now for Adoram to punch out. I mean, fill 20 in the 10th one way or another.
Get a mark on the board here and go into game 2. You still got round 2. If you lose this match, so you got plenty of time. Great shot there, leaving a 4-pin. Get comfortable.
Exactly.
Take the time, fill your frames, get comfortable, and you'll be good to go.
I love the kids. They're 12 years old. They know what a plastic spare ball is for. It's so great. They go right to the spare ball. They know when they need it. They know what they're going to do with it.
I know. That was one thing I beat into his brain. I worked with him a couple of times and told him, you got to get that spare ball. Got to get that spare ball. Got to use it all the time for those spares. It's going to make it really easy when you get in situations like this.
Yep.
Now, it makes the spare no problem at all.
Now, if he would have had his strike ball with that shot, missing his target left, on this, even though it's a 44-foot condition, he would have hooked by that 4-pin.
Exactly.
That was a great presentation you and Chuck Gardner and your brother helped out with on Friday about the importance of filling frames, making sure you have that spare ball in your bag.
Oh, absolutely. It's always great when I get to share the podium with Chuck Gardner, somebody like that. Somebody who donated $2,500 this weekend to 10 lucky draw winners across the 5 squads. But so far, game 1 went to Odin Peters, 185 to 135. So Odin with the 50-pin lead.
Odin starts game. Odin starts game number 2 on the left lane.
Yep, Odin, you will start on the left lane. We've got the score, so you guys are good to go. Oh, 8-pin for Odin.
The defiance of that 8-pin.
I know. That was wild.
Come on, man. When you throw it that good, they should all fall.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, watching last night, we had several U15 mixed players on that last squad at 4 o'clock. And the camaraderie they all had, they didn't make it into the finals today. Those 3 players that were in the U12 mix, but they were rooting each other on, high-fiving, cheering. Even one of the young players coming into the booth, talk about what he was looking to bowl that last game of qualifying when he still had a chance. I believe it was Zach Estrin was the young man that was coming in. How about a messenger?
Yo!
Throwing wood like it's balsa. Oh, man.
Flinging that head pin across the deck.
Look at the dads are smiling out there going, come on.
And Joe's dad wasn't even here to see it.
Well, that's the great part about the live stream. Joe could go home and go, Dad, you got to see the messenger I carried. You're kicking off the match.
If you're Joe right now rewatching this, you're going to save that one and be like, man, look at how cool this one was, Dad. You can't do that, but I can. So Joe did change balls here, got away from that urethane ball.
Ooh, my. And
just trying to get a little bit of a different look at it.
that resin really picked up right at the end of the pattern. Goodness.
We got this 44-foot pattern here today, but they can be a little tricky if you're not in the right part of the lane.
Did you get a chance? I'm sure you probably practiced on it a little bit once it was laid out.
I did get to practice on it a little bit. Scores were probably about as expected as what we thought. The U18 boys division, we expected the scores to be a little bit higher, but across the board, they were pretty expected. So Odin, not Odin. Joseph off to a good start here. Strike 8 spare. Like we talked about, the importance of filling those frames. Odin up here in the second on the right lane.
Look at that post of the follow through. Back-to-back 8s.
Back-to-back 8 pins. Unreal.
Come on, man.
That ain't right. Hey, the way I look at it, though, 9 and 9.
Yep.
Especially in a match like this, where the importance of filling frames is huge. That's pretty good. And that one doesn't quite make it there. But Odin's still in a pretty good spot here as he won the first game by 50.
The one thing that was pretty cool this morning while you were running the roll call for everybody bowling match play today was watching the kids walk in here and they saw all the cameras that were up. And it's like they're like, this is like TV. And like, hey, the PB3 is first class all the way, and I'm not going to shy away from giving these kids a first-class experience if they're bowling for the championship. And, of course, I got a first-class commentator here with me as well. With Justin Bohn.
Thanks, Phil.
Absolutely.
We continue to work on this event every year and see what we can do to make it better. And, the progression we've made over the past, 4 or 5 years has been pretty crazy. It's been pretty sweet being able to come on board here and help out for the last 5 years on my end.
Yeah.
And, I think we keep saying it every year. It gets smoother and smoother and better and better. And, we had all 3 squads on time yesterday, which we don't have very often. We didn't have any major hiccups, which was good. Scores were up fast, and, everything looks good. Everything looks uniform, which is one thing that I love when everything looks the same. So it's pretty cool to see it come together in this way.
Oh, my.
That one just falls in the gutter there for Joseph.
One thing I thought was pretty good for all the people that couldn't make it in person outside of the live streaming was that the scores were updated so quickly on the website and easy to read. You knew where you were in the standings. Good old Control F comes in, and bam, there you go. If you couldn't see them right away, it's you did a great job on those standing sheets and getting everything updated, and all the volunteers that helped you out getting those scores in as rapidly as possible after every game.
Yeah, absolutely. This doesn't run with a team of people, without a team of people, and having that team, Larry, say mom and dad, and anyone else that's helped out throughout the weekend, it's not possible without the team of people to run something like this. And Phil, thank you to you for putting this on.
Oh, absolutely.
It's pretty cool to have this kind of setup like this for the finals, and pretty exciting for these 2 young players to go back and watch, and also for the fans and the spectators at home.
Yeah, it's always, we've had you back in the extra frame days. We had you and your brother in the booth on occasion. I remember the first time was 2015 in Farmingdale at the Johnny Petraglia BVL that I met you guys. You were there with your dad. And
Yep.
I got you in the booth for a little while. It's like you guys didn't take it as a joke. That's the one thing I always was impressed by. It's just like, okay, you can have fun and talking to people and stuff like that. You guys were dead serious every time you stepped in that booth. You wanted to tell people what watching your dad or what you knew about the sport and everything, and it was always really impressive.
It's always a good time when you get in front of the booth and things like that. And I think for personally speaking, as Odin's getting up here to shoot this 4-7 here, those early days of getting in the booth is probably what started a little bit of the passion of the film stuff.
Yeah.
Good spare there from Odin. As now I'm going to SCAD. I'm going to be starting up at SCAD here in the next week or 2, and going for that film and television, degree and things like that, and the YouTube channel and all that stuff. And back in those early days, 2015 Farmingdale, man, what a time! All started that, we'll say.
Yeah.
As, Odin misses the head pin going away, leaving the 1-2-4. But he's got a makeable spare on the board. And he's totally in the driver's seat. Odin won the first game by 50. And he is currently up another 8 this game, so up 58 total with 5.5 frames left in this first match.
You know, we talked about Adoram kind of uses this as a warm-up session. I'm kind of doing the same thing here with these remote control cameras. I've missed a couple of cuts. I don't think people at home have really noticed, but when I'm sitting here going, wait, I got the wrong one on, it's my warm-up session as well. But, I mean, making this, I mean, where else on live streams do you get to see these bowlers, you know, in their setup, close up?
Yeah,
Look
Phil,
at how
shout out to you.
relaxed
This
everybody is.
looks fantastic. You know, I'm pulling this off.
I'm tooting my own horn a little bit this morning. Sorry, I'll get done with that by the end of the day. But
so we watch Joseph here up in the 5th frame. Going back to the urethane ball. Goes light mixer there, leaving just a 7-pin.
oh, spare! I love these kids use spare balls. It's great.
Absolutely fantastic.
I used to have problems telling college kids to use spare balls. I don't need a spare ball. I need urethane. No, you don't. You need a spare ball. Yikes.
That one unfortunately just misses it in the gutter there. But we got special guest in the booth now, Brandon Bohn. Welcome, Brandon.
Morning.
Morning.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. This is the guy that you could just tell was absolutely sickened by being how old he was during this weekend.
Yeah.
Knowing his time bowling in this tournament has been completed.
Yeah. Maybe next year we'll add like a U25 division. What do you think?
U25, so your brother can get back into it.
Exactly.
I'm cool with it.
Well, right now we're looking at the U12 boys.
Yep.
So.
And, well, Brandon, I'm going to let you take over my job for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do some tournament director stuff.
You're a busy man this weekend there, Justin. And, yeah, we're glad you got stop in here for the first match. And we'll get you back here a lot more as the day goes on.
Yeah, we'll be streaming all of the championship matches here right on the Justin Bohn channel. So be sure and stay tuned for that. We'll have championship matches all day long. But for now, we'll let round 1 wrap up here in the U12 mixed division. And Brandon and Phil, we'll catch you guys later.
Thank
Sounds
you, sir.
good.
So Peter's well in command here in this match. So it's best of 3 in these matches.
So as one Bohn steps away, another one joins.
Hey, I got 3 more to choose from this morning.
Oh,
As Peters gets the crossover,
that is true.
takes a look over at Dad and just goes, okay, what do I need to do there? Was it me? Was it the lane? And I think it was Peters on that one.
Yeah.
I think the old, even two-handers can get a little early elbow.
Come on.
And roll over it a little quick. Look at the post, a little hop step.
Oh, hook. All right.
The Sean Maldonado hop step.
Yeah.
It looked like for Peters there.
Whatever works.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. I was at a clinic one time that Wes Smollett was helping out with in Milwaukee, and we had a player that had a significant hop, like literally would hop 6 or 7 inches to the right after he released the ball as a right-hander. And Wes just said, are you striking? Yeah. Are you going on the Pro Tour? No. Then don't change a thing.
And it don't matter.
And it doesn't matter because the ball's out of your hand when the hop's gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great spare there on lane 3 for Odin.
I just love these side cams or front cams. It's a little different view that you get in a lot of other live streams. But you get to see, like here, Joe Adoram. Watch how relaxed that right shoulder is in the setup. Look at that.
He don't look nervous at all.
No. The big exhale.
Yeah.
And now looking for the big strike. There
Getting
you
it.
go.
After 4 consecutive open frames.
So he's up by 18. I'm sorry, he's down by 18 this game. He's down by a bunch in the match.
Now it's basically just a 2 out of 3. Whoever wins twice wins.
Right. So these young players can be bowling more games in their championship match than they bowled in qualifying.
In qualifying, yeah.
As it was 5-game blocks for these young players. Watch how quick he accelerates, getting into the line like you do a lot of two-handers. That skip step.
That's close too.
Come on, man. Wrap 10.
And both of these bowlers bowl here at Howell Lanes, and they both have bowled inside the training center before, so they know what this is about.
What's the thing you enjoy working on most while you're in the training center? I'm thinking 5, 7, 10s, but that was just on Friday.
That was like a once a month thing, you know?
Yeah.
But I would say my shot, you know, being able to good spare there. I'd say my shot.
Okay.
And
was it your brother that tried, or were you that tried making a 5, 7, 10 with 3 bowling balls in one hand?
Justin did that.
Justin did that?
Yeah, Justin did that. I think just being able to shoot anything you want and, you know, be able to shoot at a full rack as many times as you want. I think that's cool.
And there you see Peters. A big celebration with that 7 falling late. And it's pretty much mathematically done here in match 1.
All right, we'll bring in one more Bohn.
Hey, said by the end of the day, we'll have the whole family in here, one way or another. And that is the voice of one, Parker Bohn III. Did you think 24 years ago, Parker, when you first started this tournament, you'd have this for championship matches with rev rates and cameras and all that other stuff?
I did not foresee the future that far, but I'll tell you what, this is really, really cool. The fact that these 2 young boys can get out here and bowl in a U12 division.
Great shot there from Odin.
They're bowling for, well, I'm going to say a significant title here in the Northeast.
Oh,
absolutely. And they're good friends, but obviously on the lanes, they know that they're competitors. They each want to win. But at the same time that this division is going on, we have 4 other divisions going on the other side of the bowling facility. And it's a really, really cool, maybe a little hectic back and forth for me right at the present moment, but I don't mind that.
Huh.
And you know what's really cool, Phil? We're sitting right here in front of us here. And one of these 2 boys is going to be crowned a PBA junior champion under 12.
So they're both members. Nice.
Wow, that's really cool.
I love seeing what the PBA junior membership does, even if the kids only bowl 1 or 2 PBA junior events a year, because all the extra benefits they get with it. If they go to a PBA TV show, they get early access to tickets. If they can get jerseys and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But now to see your banner for 5 or 6 years every time you go to a PBA
longer for them.
tournament. Yeah. Oh, they're what, 9 and 10 or 10 and 10?
Yeah, they're not even 12 yet. So the fact that they're bowling here, they're going to gain that ambiance of having a banner, a championship banner at the end of the lanes at every PBA junior that they bowl for basically the next 8 or 9 years. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
And next year, they'll both be back.
And they'll both still be in the U12.
That they will be.
So this match, once again, no longer in doubt for match 1. They'll go into that second match, and Peters will have the 1-0 match advantage. And how pretty are those trophies and that big old check right there? Look at that. You got the 2 trophies sitting there. First place gets the ball. Second place gets the pin. And $400 of scholarship money to the winner. And they get to keep the big check and take it home and put it on their wall, don't they?
It is theirs.
Awesome.
With 10 entries,
Yeah.
$400 is your winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Well, a lot of that has to take place because of sponsorships. And when we look at right at the end of this championship pair, the sponsor that's been on board with us every single year from the start is Brunswick.
Yep.
And all those 7 brands that it represents, by all means, allow us to do the things that we are doing here for all of these youth bowlers.
So there we go, handshakes for match 1. Peters takes it, so double elimination. Even if it's only a 2-player finals.
Still double elimination.
Still double elimination.
Yeah.
Can't ask for much more. Lefty, righty, double elimination. You get your share of bowling here first thing this morning inside of Rev Rates. And, boy, we see the tournament crew hard at work behind you here, Parker. We can see you on camera, me on camera. We got Brandon in the middle, and there's Larry behind us, and Brandon and
Justin at the desk.
And yeah, it takes a
plan.
village to run a bowling tournament of this caliber, and you have yourself a heck of a village, Parker.
Well, fortunately.
Look at that. They even got their own handshake. How about that? We're going to have to zoom in on that in a little bit next time we see it. See if we can get it out one more time.
Yeah, so we need to check with our tournament director because it's the completion of match 1. So, Brandon, did they start where they finished game 2? Or
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen here. I've got to actually go down there and talk to them.
Sounds
Guys, I'm
good.
going to let you go here.
All right, thanks, Parker. So we'll get a look in. Parker will head on down. Brandon will head on down.
Justin will head on down.
Justin will head on down. Brandon's right here next to me.
Yep.
If I don't look you guys right in the face sometime, sometimes the wrong name still enters my brain.
Just listening in to the rules here.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they're going to stay on the same pair.
Yep. So let's take a big view here while we have a second
Yeah.
of the whole Rev Rates facility,
Yeah.
all 5 lanes. And it's interesting because that 5th lane, you don't see any pins on it now, and you won't see any pins on it all day because it won't be in use, obviously being a single lane when we use pairs in tournament competition. But the pins are on strings on lane 5.
They are. So we have 4 GSX pin setters and then 1 string pin. We wanted to make lane 5 unique due to the fact it would be only 1 lane, and we put the wall straight down lane 6.
Yep.
So you only have 1 lane. So it's not necessarily used as a pair in competition anymore, but we use it as kind of a fun little lane, we like to call it. So fun little string pin. And it's not so little. It's the same size as every other lane, but it's just string pin instead of regular standard pin. So
Have you bowled a complete game on that lane?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. But I know the pins are a little less lively.
Yeah.
So.
And I need to go back into the video here because apparently I didn't leave a chat function open. Come on, $2 Phil. What's going on? We'll open up the chat for everybody here. A lot of people starting to file in. Take a peek at, well, basically, future of the game. And we are back underway.
Practice beginning
Practice.
here. I believe they get a few shots on each lane. I don't know.
2 on each is what I heard.
2 on each lane, 4 in total.
Yes.
And they get to change the surface of their ball. It's a new round. I like to call it round 2. So it looks like Joe's decided to change balls. Looks like he's gone to an eternity.
I think his dad ran out to the car to get that for him.
Yep. Now he's got a different ball.
All right.
So we'll
You're the
see.
expert, so I'll let you see what the difference is between those 2 particular pieces of equipment that he's throwing.
The one thing I love about Joe is no matter what time of the game, when it is, you always see that little walkout to the right. And he's always in it. He's always having a good time. And, his dad's right there behind him. So I find that really cool.
Is Peters not going to take practice?
Maybe Odin's sitting this one out.
Okay. Or he might be taking his practice after. So.
You know, coming off a 70-pin victory, I kind of like this strategy from Odin. You know, not going to waste any more balls than he needs to.
Yep. Well, here's the thing I'm thinking of, and correct me if I might be wrong, but the balls these young players are using, they don't have the really super high rev rates to go with them. They're really not going to transition the lanes a ton.
Too much, yeah.
Between shots. You see, yep, almost see. Now we see Joe getting some advice from Dad, and yeah, so Odin Peters not taking any practice. And we'll see who's, I think it would be Joe Adoram starting the match, or Adoram.
All right, here we go, round 2, the U12 Mixed Championship.
Odin Peters up 1-0.
Looks like he's going with an exotic gem. Rip the rack 7 to start off.
Come on, man. Gee, I mean, you look at some of the breaks these young players are getting this morning with solid 8s and ripper 7s, and if you were watching the ball from the arrows down in the end of the lane, you wouldn't think it was U12 players making these kind of tosses. You'd think it would be somebody that's been bowling for quite a few more years, getting a little extra power and speed out of these bowling balls. And they're really spare for Adoram. So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Brandon a little while ago, because this is the biggest spotlight these young players have been in their young careers. You know, they've got, you know, the live stream cameras and us commentating behind them that they need to shut out and everything. What was your first big, like, year-end tournament or once-a-year tournament finals that you were into, and how calm were you, or how nervous were you getting into that type of finals? Do you remember how old you were? Remember what tournament it was?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It would be Junior Gold. The first time I made the
Really?
show. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you know, growing up, I was always kind of familiar with the TV lights, you know, watching Dad. I just always wanted to do it myself. So when I got up there the first time, I didn't really have a whole lot of nerves because, not going to say I had been there before, but I had watched so many times. And, you know, that feeling of getting up and, you know, throwing a strike to win, that feeling never gets old.
Yeah.
But I will say it was a little less nerve-wracking than, you know, you would think as a 12-year-old stepping up in front of the bright lights. But, yeah, that was super cool. 2017 U12 championship at Junior Gold. Still remember that we were on the high side at Game of Wycliffe, I believe, in Cleveland.
So how many years ago was that?
Let's see, I'm 19 now.
Yep.
That was when I was 12 in 2017.
So it was like shortly after you were out in Reno, watch your dad take down the Cheetah Championship.
Yeah, like
that year in Reno, a few
like
months
year and a
later.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep,
Was it 2015 he won in Reno or 2016?
2015.
2015, so
Yep.
a year and a half. Because I remember all you were worried about was taking home the big cardboard check.
Yep.
You wanted that for your room.
Yep, I did. And it still didn't make it to my room. I wanted it for my room.
Yeah.
But a few years later, I happened to come back and win this tournament, and I got my own big check.
There you go.
So
Good times.
super cool. But yeah, that was the first time I had all the cameras and the mics and, you know, the super bright lights. We don't have super bright lights in here, but
It looks pretty. I mean, it's well lit in here. You guys make sure that you know, you're not going from light to dark like you're doing in some bowling centers, because they have cosmic bowling lights to go along with the regular lighting. So sometimes you get some weird lighting patterns.
what a leave there. That is not one we see very often.
No.
The everyday 189.
Best way to shoot it, dead down fourth arrow.
Exactly. Let's see how he goes about this.
He stays with the strike ball. Okay.
That's got to hook a little. That would have been a perfect strike shot.
Yep. Unfortunately, no 5 to take out the 9 on that. That would have been helpful. And there you see Adoram already looking at the scoreboard because he knows the way Peters has been filling frames. An open frame can be trouble.
Exactly.
The post, the stare down. I mean, he is watching that ball motion for 60 feet.
And he's just controlling the head pin and making his spares. And that's sometimes all you got to do when you're bowling against another kid your age.
Yeah, that's what Brandon was talking about. He says he's worked with both players, and it's really been working on the spare game. Do we know what the ball weights these young players are throwing by chance? Brandon would probably know more than with working, or I'm sure Justin would probably know more because Brandon, you've worked with him a little, but not a ton.
Not a whole lot,
yeah.
But I would imagine 12.
Okay.
I would imagine 12 pounds. I could get a clarification the next time Justin comes in. I'll see if I can get a clarification.
Do a lot of these bowling balls nowadays, and I don't follow bowling balls as much as I used to. For the lighter weights, like the 12-pound weights, do they have dynamic cores, or is it still pancakes on a lot of these particular bowling balls?
Most of them are 12 to 16. 12 to 16 pounds, so they're all basically the only difference is the numbers.
So they'll have flare. These bowling balls will flare for them with the drillings and that type of thing, so they get a little fresh cover stock going through the oil. And yeah, they didn't have that years ago for the 12-pound bowling balls. It was all, well, here's your pancake weight block. If you didn't throw 14, you were kind of hosed on dynamics.
Exactly.
And then unless, you flipped the weight block over and when you could drill an extra hole, you did it. But how often does that, you can't do that anymore, basically.
So a 4-pin match after 3 frames here.
A little off balance on that shot,
when
but
he gets the light mixer.
Fall.
Yeah.
Almost a pocket 7-8. The last 2 to fall were the 7 and the 8. And yeah, we've got some players already done with matches out in our main part of the tournament. If you've come here looking for your favorite player that's bowling in the U15 or U18 divisions in either the boys or the girls, that's on the Parker Bohn the Third Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. We have all the live feeds with the ambient sounds there. We're bringing you all the championship matches here on the Justin Bohn page on Championship Sunday for the PB3. And that could be a little bit of trouble trying to convert, even though one would think a strike ball would get it. If you're a little high flush in that 1-3 pocket this time, you could go past the 9.
If you do exactly what he did on the last effort, he should have no problem.
Okay.
Left the 1-8-9 in the 3rd frame. So let's see if he can make the 1-3-9 this time around.
Makes the adjustment with the footwork. I wouldn't think it would be more than maybe a board to the left just to have the ball finish so hard. Oh, and that we just called
as
it.
we talked about. Yeah, a little too high flush there.
Right, I'm done talking. I've been black clouding everybody all weekend long. It's been rough. I would go to cut over on qualifying rounds, and kids would have 5-baggers. I'd see it. I'd go over. I'd cut to it. Pocket 7-10 twice. Stone 9 once. Stone 8 once. So, yeah, I was really good to people out during qualifying.
And another Brooklyn strike for Odin.
But that's not a bad thing sometimes with these lightweight bowling balls if they're throwing 12 pounds. Sometimes you get that ball that just goes right down. In Peter's case, the 1, 3, 6, and 10, and everything just kind of flows to the left.
Exactly. So taking a 16-pin lead here early.
Waiting on a ball. Looks like it's spinning him back, so we'll get somebody on that momentarily.
Let's see. You know what? I think I'll go get it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be on you right now. Jack of all trades, Brandon Bohn. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I'm right here. The 2 dads trying to stay off camera. Guess what? Didn't work, guys. You switch sides, and you're still there. But great to see, both dads here coaching the sons, helping them out a little bit. And you guys having fun? All right. You guys don't look nervous at all. It's really cool. So I've had some kids when I used to do TV in Wisconsin. I had some kids, they'd be beet red and sweating and all that. You guys are just like, it's nothing. This is every day for us. We're champions. All right. Ball should be coming back. And we're ready to fire with Odin Peters getting ready to step up in his 6th frame. Looking for the double. Oh, back to the well. You see, took an extra look at the footwork. See where he finished on the lane, because sometimes our bodies aren't 100% perfect. Sometimes you go, you look down, and how the heck did I drift 2 boards to the right or 2 boards to the left? We see it happen. We've had it happen to us.
Exactly. So getting my exercise in for the day.
You're young.
So just
you
had a ball return on lane 4.
You don't need that many steps. I'm the one that needs the
True.
steps. Ah, the wrap 10. And Adoram now is, he's got a mark here. He's got to keep this one close. He's going to find himself down by 26 already through 6 frames, and you can't give any more pins to an opponent, especially when you've seen Odin Peters filling frames most of the morning.
1 open here through 6 frames for Odin, and he's got a double. So pacing around 190.
Hold on.
Oh. Joe with an open frame in the 60s.
All right, I just asked him if he was having fun. The guys were having fun while you're in the back. They both said yes. I think that's going away a little bit for Adoram at the moment.
Yeah. Joe's struggling here. Odin, not so much.
Let's take a look at like a lot of two-handers. We got to get that camera adjusted a little bit quick because accelerating, getting through the foul line. Look at that. He almost outraces our camera there. Almost falls out of the picture. Get a trip. Not going to happen. And the 5 stands. I won't do it to a U12 player. We get to a U18 and somebody leaves a 5-pin those championship matches, my hand's going right up in the air. I could use a free soda.
And I think later on there will be a little bit more people in here.
Yeah.
So there might be a few more hands going up.
Oh, stay on it. Yikes. And I think that was just nerves. I think that's, you know you're down early. You kind of force the issue a little bit, and I think it was just a little bit of nerves there for Adoram.
Joe might be getting a little frustrated here. Back-to-back opens. And 4 out of the last 5 open frames for Joe.
Peters looking to pile on here for a turkey.
And
Hey,
another Brooklyn.
If it works,
It
why
works.
change it? And like I said, it's not that bad. I back in the day when I did a little more coaching, especially players that didn't hook the ball, we'd have some kids come out for high school teams, didn't know how to hook it yet, and we're throwing really lightweight equipment, 12 pounds, and I'd say aim for the 1-2 pocket if you were right-handed. Because that ball weight is a little more conducive.
That looks like a good one, though. Oh, yeah, and a
How about
4-bagger.
Fist in the air.
How about that?
Can you smell that?
Oh, there's the handshake. There's the handshake.
It smells like a championship's going to come to fruition possibly for Odin Peters, but Adoram far from out of it yet. But he needs to start putting some strikes together.
And that one doesn't make it back either.
Yep.
Joe looks defeated. But
And
there's a whole nother game left,
Right.
so anything can happen.
you can put together a 4-bagger of your own while your opponent struggles.
Look a little. Oh,
Get it.
and a good effort there on the spare.
Give the kid a break.
As we hear from the parents, finish strong, Joe.
Yep.
Because you never know. Anything can happen in these U12 matches.
Right. He still has a chance for 159.
So it looks like a ball change here in the 9th frame. Another single pin. Let's see if Joe can take down this 3-pin here.
Yeah, let's see. He's got to kind of slow his pacing down a little bit. I know you're a little defeated, but Chuck Gardner, yourself, your brother talked all about the importance of the pre-shot routine. Keep the mental facilities straight between each shot and getting up on the approach to make your shot. And I think Adoram's just kind of rushing the pre-shot routine here with the frustrations obviously feeling at the moment.
Looks like Odin may have lost that one off his hand, and it still comes back for a 7-pin. Great shot there. And Odin's going to take a commanding lead after game 1 here.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling like all I need to do is just keep filling frames, force my opponent to get the marks, and that was a little quick on the pre-shot routine there. I think if he would have focused a little bit more, but that's never the easiest thing for these young players. It's more, you can just see the adrenaline's there. They're amped doing this. They know this is their first big championship they're bowling for, and sometimes keeping 100% of that mental focus can be a little bit on the tough side, and this is a little intimidating. You're the only ones bowling. There's cameras all over you. You know the world's watching you on YouTube. You know the world's going to keep watching you on YouTube once the match is done, and we're starting to get more and more players filing in here.
Looks like
between rounds.
Match play round 1 has concluded. Yeah. And if it hasn't concluded completely, they're in the final frames of match play round 1.
Look at that post, a little bit of a hop, doesn't affect the shot.
And makes it.
How
and
huge,
he's feeling it.
How huge is a 2-4-7-8 in a championship match like this?
He's feeling it.
That's
and as a few more people gather around in here, you see a few more high fives and claps for that great spare in the 10th frame.
And Friday night, Odin was in the ER after a skateboard accident. And here he is Sunday.
A very nice
for a championship.
2-0-2 game.
I'm sure that's not his high game in his lifetime as of yet.
That's got to be pretty close.
It's got to be near there. And what a time to throw it when you know you can lock up your first big trophy and big check.
And banner.
Your young career and PBA Junior banner.
PBA Junior banner.
Yeah. Justin did mention that both these young players are PBA Junior members. And it's such a phenomenal program. Even if somebody might live, if somebody's watching us in North Dakota, hey, thanks for getting up early and watching this, honestly. But even if they can't get near that many regionals a year and they only bowl one PBA Junior regional a year, the benefits you get from the PBA Junior program are phenomenal, where you get, you get the free water bottle, you get the free towel, you get the newsletter by email, you get all kinds of cool stuff. And you can get jerseys, you can get towels. It's phenomenal, all with the PBA Junior in logos and stuff on it. And the membership start at $50 a year. It's a great thing, and you get all the introductory package stuff. And we're ready to rock and roll for game 2.
We are.
Yep.
And it looks like a 75-pin lead for Odin.
Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead. The scores will pop up correctly in a second. They're just making sure because they see the names on the opposite lane to start this game.
And Odin starts off with a strike, and like we said earlier, just a few moments ago, there's more people in here, and it's getting a little louder when they throw a good shot. So a 75-pin lead for Odin going into the second game here. And Joe's also looking to start off strong. As we said earlier, anything can happen. And a great shot there to start off for both players.
There we go. Look at those spiffy Brunswick ball returns. Those are nice lines, simple colors, gray and black. And there is the first place bowling ball trophy, the second place bowling pin trophy, and the big check that's going to go to the winner. Only 2. Wow. And, it's a bad break here and there could really be the difference for Adoram right now. He's definitely hasn't found the carry, and sometimes that's tough for these young players. Lighter weight bowling balls. And that's frustration right there. Yeah, it's easy to get frustrated. You just nail the pocket. You think you throw a great shot. Your emotions get you a little bit because you think you deserve that strike. I thought he deserved that strike, but that's just me.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
So let's see if Odin can throw a double here. Now Brooklyn.
Yeah.
All right. A 1-2-4.
He didn't have that big of a hop that time.
Maybe the hop's doing it for him.
I hate to say it, but he wasn't really leveraged as well as he's been in the past because you didn't see the bit of a hop he normally has. It was very slight. Usually you see a little air under that right foot, but not this time.
Looks like that one gets by him a little. So rough second frame for both the players here. The 7 miss for Odin, and a 9 miss for Joe, but I think the biggest thing that Joe needs to realize is he's already gained 4 pins on his deficit. So if he can throw a few more strikes here, he can get back into this match, no problem.
Yeah, there's the hop. Ooh, got a little too much of that one. You see, not happy with.
Not happy with that one.
You know the way his day's going today, though? I give him about a 50-50 shot at making this.
You think so?
I think so. I give him 50-50. If bowlers gambled,
You'd gamble on Odin?
I'd gamble on the 50-50. I'd say even money on making this. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, good effort. The disappointment rolling in a little for Odin there. Back-to-back open frames. But the thing he's got to realize, he's got a 75-pin lead going into this game.
Even if Joe Adoram doubles here, he's still up by 50. Because Adoram working on that open frame.
That's
Bring
close.
it in.
A 4-pin. All right, fill the frame. Fill the frame.
They always say football is the game of inches. Bowling is the game of fraction of inches, because if that ball was a fraction of an inch either way in that 1-3 pocket for Adoram, that 4 would have had a chance to trip. Look at that post at the foul line. These young players, the quality balance they have. And it's not easy to balance when you're young as a two-hander, because you don't have that much body mass, body weight to begin with. And then you're throwing something that's 12, 14, 18% of your body weight, dominating that one side, and be able to do that repetitively and have such good balance. There you go.
Great shot there from Joe.
There you see, he's stepping it out now. He feels a little better.
He's getting into it a little. Now this
in.
lead has dropped to 60 pins here. So Joe
What was your favorite bowling ball when you were 10, 11, or 12?
I think the SpongeBob SquarePants ball, Phil. I think that one was my favorite. Yeah. Or the ball with Dad's face on it was cool.
Okay. Yeah. You can't. There's not too many kids that can say my dad is on a bowling ball.
Exactly. So
now they could on the ball bowling, who made the trophies for this tournament. They could put anything pretty much picture-wise on a bowling ball. So I get my dad's picture on a bowling ball.
yeah, I would have to go with that one. That was
It was a little more
cool.
special edition for you, though.
Yeah, maybe a little. So
Because that was kind of mass-produced by the PBA when they had
exactly. I don't think I had any reactive balls when I was 10.
It was one of the was your dad's ball with the 50 greatest all time.
It was.
Those balls that were out.
It was.
Yeah.
And if I did, it was probably like a low end, like slingshot
Okay.
or a striking. Yeah, that
Oh,
sounds.
strike king! I loved my strike king back in the day.
That sounds about right.
House patterns.
Oh,
As
yeah.
a lefty, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
We only bowled on house patterns when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got to be about. Oh well, so 10. At 10 years old, I bowled my first junior gold.
Okay.
So maybe, 9. So I'm thinking like 2010, 2011 was my first ball. Oh. So when I was 9, I had, I think, like 5 balls.
Okay.
And I bowled my first ever junior gold. So, and to get this jersey Joe's wearing, you have to be in our Youth Open group to go out to the Youth Open Championships right before Junior Gold. So he's bowled a big tournament before, and, Joe's feeling it now.
Don't count Adoram out yet. We
With
saw
another
a
strike
four-bagger. Yeah, the four-bagger from Peter's last game.
With another strike here, this deficit could be cut in half.
It's one thing these kids need. It seems like Adoram's learned early is until the math says you can't win, you can't give up.
It's got to hook a little. And he gets the light mixer, and he's giving it the fist bump in the yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
And now you see right there, Odin.
He's starting to feel it now.
Yeah, the the outlook's a little different. There's the big smile for Adoram.
And another tough spare for Odin.
And this is getting real interesting.
This is going to go down to the 8th, 9th, and 10th here. And from the start of this first game, we're thinking otherwise.
Get some help.
Oh, and a great spare. Back-to-back high-quality spares for Odin.
Takes a look over at Dad. Gets a little bit of advice. And let's see, and that's a bit of a break, getting that 2-pin to kick over off the 8 into the 7. Let's see if he can take advantage of it here. In the 7th frame.
All right, Brooklyn's for a 5-pin.
Hey, 9 spare every frame the rest of the way out for Peters. Yeah, he's going to be a champion most likely. But once again, until the math is done, don't count Adoram out.
And a spare. All right. But Joe can cut the deficit.
This is Adoram's biggest shot of the weekend.
It
by
is.
far.
He can cut the deficit to in the teens with the next 2 here. All right, a single pin. All right. Still trails in the match, but look, Phil, 7 frames ago,
Yep.
I'm sure he didn't think he had a chance.
Oh, especially he missed that single pin.
Yeah.
He missed that 10 pin in the second.
Yep.
And, yeah, you saw the frustration and heartbreak that Joe had on his face on the way back.
Fills the frame. Just keep filling the frame.
And you see that double just kind of lit his eyes up with, hey, I still have a chance. The 3-bagger really lit his eyes up. Hey, I can do this. But now it's 8th frame. It's kind of mandatory strike mode. When you know your opponent's throwing it as good as Odin Peters is. Little problem with the footwork. Yeah, you can just see right there. Shoulders get a little over the toes and the balance goes away. And I think the math's done here.
Yeah, that one was a big shot in the 8th, setting up the foundation frame in the 9th.
Come on, Joe, do a little showing off here. Make it. Oh.
Ooh. And a good effort there. But it looks like Odin's just going to need a mark in the 8th, 9th, or 10th here, and he's going to take this one home no matter what Joe does in the 9th and 10th. And he carries the Brooklyn.
Best mark of all.
There it is.
5 champions being crowned this weekend. And they can double up on champions. Not just as a PB3 champion, but as a PBA junior champion if they have a PBA junior membership. And we're seeing that now. And pretty much the victory lap coming up for Odin Peters. Stares it down.
Oh, yeah.
Cave that 6, 7, 10. That was Parker-esque right there on caving the 6, 7, 10. How many titles has he won doing that to his
And
opponents?
I wonder if here comes the, we missed it. No handshake on that one for the double there. I'm waiting for this handshake again. I want to see it close up.
Let's see what Adoram can do here. Just get out strong. Show the world how you made your way here this weekend. Get a roll. No butter on that roll.
You got to give it up for Joe. He never gave up, and
Right.
you know, you could have easily came into this game and just said, "All right, I already lost."
I'm impressed with all the young for as young as these kids are, and two-handing it with not having the body stature or the weight to come up with, you know, being able to really throw that two-handed style hard and really get the rev rate they're going to develop in the future. Yeah, Adoram keeps working at his game, and he might not hit your rev rate there, Brandon. No, I don't think anybody hits your rev rate.
Well,
No, I can't say that. I know one guy in Wisconsin that can hit your rev rate. He actually still bowls with a or with the Brunswick Black Beauty in league because everything else hooks off the lane for him because of his rev rate.
That's funny. That's way before my time.
Yeah.
So, all right, as Joe finishes up here, we're going to get a championship lap. Odin's going to have this 10th frame to soak it all in here. And he will be presented with a $400 check and the bowling ball for his bowling this weekend.
Great cover by Adoram. And yeah, it's going to sting for a little while. No doubt about that. It'll sting a bit, but having that bowling pin trophy at home on the bookcase be a good reminder not only that he bowled well this weekend, but he's still got a little bit more to shoot for next year here in the PB3.
All right. As Joe finishes up, here comes our 2023 U12 Mixed Championship. I can't say boys because this is a mixed division in the U12.
And there's your nice close-up look at our champion, Odin Peters.
Come on, finish out strong. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And there's the fist bump.
And
How about Friday night in the emergency
Yeah.
room from a skateboard accident?
Right. You see that huge bandage he has on his right elbow.
And comes out less than 36 hours later, and he's going to be crowned a champion this weekend.
We'll have to see if Justin can retouch the winner's photograph, get rid of that little blemish above the lip and stuff that he has with the little scrape he took on the pavement. You know, if you're going to be a champion's picture, we got to have him looking good.
All right, how about one last shot here from Odin? We'll make it a good one. It's got to hook a little. Oh, all right. He finishes with 187. 389 to 308. And let's see if we can get this handshake.
I think
from Dad and Odin. And there it is. Oh, yeah. Nice little close-up.
And we'll be back momentarily. Check and trophy presentation coming up from here inside of Rev Rates. Stay tuned for that check and trophy presentation, and then we'll take a little break. You're going to get a new stream every round today. For those of you watching us on the Justin Bohn page, we're going to new stream every championship. So if you don't already have your YouTube notifications set for Justin's page, set them so you know when he goes live, and then that way you can flip open your phone, turn on your computer, and make things happen. Brandon, thanks for sitting with me for a bit. We're going to take a little audio intermission here as we get our checks and trophies presented.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.
But the way that it all unfolded, our second place finisher receiving a $200 scholarship, and the runner-up bowling pin, Joseph Adoram. And our champion in this year's U12 division. He showed why he's the champion with the strikes that he performed there, especially as things came down to the end, receiving a $400 scholarship, and he's not afraid to grab that first place trophy. Have a nice hand for Odin Peters. Joseph, can you come up here? You want to say anything? You sure? Perfect. Joseph, can we get you up here with your trophy?
So there we go. Check and trophy presentation to our 2 U12 championship finalists. Odin Peters taking on Joe Adoram in the championship match. 2 matches to 0. Next up on our schedule today will be our 15 U Girls Championship. Once again, every stream for every championship, you'll get a fresh stream. So
Thanks for showing up, and we will see you back here in just a little bit. The next division will be U15 girls.
we'll take that short break. Keep your notifications on the Justin Bohn YouTube channel. Once we go back live, when the 15 U girls start practice, we'll get you underway here from Rev Rates inside of Howell Lanes. 5 championships to be decided today here for the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. One of them already done. Odin Peters, your U12 mixed champion. Yeah, I gotta change the cable here. My cable apparently ate it. So the mic cable for the ambient mic ate it. Also, like we started talking, I'm like I don't hear anything. I had to turn my headset back on. So yeah, I gotta breathe. But after I get this cable changed out.